morning, would you please welcome to the podium Senior National Sales Director Debi Moore and National Sales Director Kathy Helou.
Wow, if there was ever a question where we were, all we have to do is listen to the applause and hear the thunderous roar of excitement. Don't you think that's what we're all about? And aren't you glad you're here on this ugly, rainy day to really put your business into high gear? You do know that this is an accelerated recruiting, 2.5 hours of how to build your team. And we are going to give you the last 23 plus 17 years of our experience and try to give it to you all. So I really want to warn you a little bit. If you walk out with swollen heads, that's normal. Just kind of take it all in, take it down in notes, and use it, pull it when you can. But aren't you excited and aren't you glad that someone cared enough to share the business with you? Have you told her recently thank you? She might even be sitting to your right or to your left. Why don't you take a minute and do that? Thank the person who thought enough of you to offer her the opportunity. Aren't you glad? Aren't you glad that she persisted and she insisted that you listened to the opportunity? And some of you weren't so easy. Some of you it took more than once. And aren't you glad that she called and she called and she called and she called and she called to get you to sit down to listen to what this business is all about? Well, I have to tell you that I'm really glad that someone didn't give up on me 23 years ago, and she did call and call and call and call, and I almost said no, but I am so thankful that I didn't, and that she persistently continued, because it's scary to think where I might be today if it weren't for this Mary Kay business. I'm so thankful that she followed up on me. I'm so thankful that she didn't listen to the 5, the 6, the 7 weeks of no's that I gave her. You know, just recently, Kathy and I were in Dallas for a meeting, and we had the privilege of going through some departments in the corporate building that we had never been through. And one of them, interesting enough, was the department where they process every single agreement that crosses the desk of Mary Kay Cosmetics. Do you know they have every agreement on file, whether it's microfiche or the actual agreement? And so just for the fun of it, we asked them to dig out, I was with Arlene Lenars at the time, asked them to dig out our original agreement, and I'm holding my original agreement. And I have to tell you that when they handed it to me, I really kind of got a chill. Arlene was crying. And I was thinking, this is amazing, 23 years later. And really reviewing this agreement, I looked down and I thought, wow, just floods of memory of the last 23 years started to happen to me. And then I kind of had a rude awakening, because I looked down where it said last or present employment. And it said that I was a junior high teacher and I made $9,100 a year. And that's when I looked at Arlene and I said, how glad are you? How thankful are you, Arlene? How thankful am I, Debi Moore, that a woman didn't give up on me? Because I might still be making a little bit more than $9,100 a year. And I cringe to think about making $9,100 a month. That's not a good month at all. And this was a yearly income. So am I thankful? Am I thankful that that woman didn't give up on me 23 years ago? You bet I am. And am I thankful that when I became a Mary Kay sales director that I listened to every single word that came out of Mary Kay's voice and out of her mouth? And one that stuck really in my mind was that the Star Consultant program was the railroad track to success. How many of you have heard that? How many of you lived your Mary Kay life by it and believe that? And how important it is that that program will really lead you to wherever you want to go. And well, I grabbed a hold of that philosophy, and I trained every consultant that came through my unit that the only way to go was to be a star. And one in Toledo, Ohio listened to me. And because she was a consistent star, received a phone call from Dallas, Texas one day and said, there's a woman who just won her products on The Price is Right, and you need to facial her when she gets back in town. And that particular person in my unit would never have received that call had she not been a consistent star consultant. Isn't it amazing how people land in this business, whether it's through being harassed on the telephone for 7 or 8 weeks, or whether it's winning your products on The Price is Right, or whether it's the way that maybe you entered into Mary Kay. Someone cared enough to share the business with you, and aren't you glad they did? You know, we should never take lightly the avenue of sharing this business or team building, because without it, you and I wouldn't be in this room today. I wouldn't be sitting in Charlotte, North Carolina, a little piece of heaven on earth, if it weren't for someone taking the time with me. And for sure, the woman on my right would not be sitting in this company and in Charlotte today if it weren't for someone taking the time and caring about her. So it's with great privilege, it's a great privilege and with a lot of love that I would like to introduce you to the woman who did win her products on The Price is Right. Would you please welcome to the podium, to welcome you as well, National Sales Director Kathy Helou.
This is so exciting. Thank you, Charlotte. Woo! Oh, this is so exciting to see all these happy, bright, totally made up, excited faces ready for some really good training today, because we are so excited. We have really been waiting to do this workshop. We've been planning to do this workshop, and we really just believe that you will walk out of here with the tools and hopefully the motivation and a goal to really make your dreams come true in Mary Kay. Well, I am so glad that somebody shared the Mary Kay business with me. I wasn't quite as easy as Debi. I think Debi joined at her very first Success event, and she did get 5 or 6 weeks of phone calls, but she finally said yes so that woman would stop annoying her with her business that Debi was truly not interested in at that point, but it's just because she didn't have enough information. Well, when I came into Mary Kay, I was really blessed to land in Debi Moore's unit and now to be her Offspring National Sales Director, and I say that with great pride and love as well. And I've got the very first note Debi ever wrote me, because I want to share with you what this note was to me. It says, Kathy, congratulations, a $486.87 love check. Super! That was my first love check. That was my first recruiting commission check, because I brought 5 women into the Mary Kay business in the month of March. She said, this is your ticket to DIQ. Okay, now I'm already off to directorship here. Nice to go free, isn't it? I am so very proud of you, love Debi. Am I glad somebody shared this business with me? Absolutely. You know, this was my first check, and to be able to stand here and tell you that I've earned in excess of $2 million in my Mary Kay career, and to receive checks in excess of $47,000, commissions earned in one single 30-day month, June of '93. I'm excited. And the good news is you can too. Whoever thought when I signed my beauty consultant agreement I would be standing in front of you as a national sales director after a 12-year journey of growth, a 12-year journey of excitement. And so, you know, some people say, well, gosh, I don't know if I really want to build a team. And that's what I said. That's exactly what I said to Debi. I said, you know, I want to hold those beauty show things, but I'm not sure I want to recruit anyone because I don't want them to take away my customers. And I just thought, I just want to build a big customer base. That's all I want to do. And so if you haven't done it to this point, it's okay, but you ask yourself, why should I build a team? Well, I'm going to tell you the first reason why you should build a team. You should build a team to honor our founder, Mary Kay Ash, because Mary Kay asks us to pass it on.
And we should be building our business to give the gift of Mary Kay to another person.
And another reason is to bring a greater sense of purpose to your career. You can have that. Whoever gets it, it's yours. It's your good luck postcard.
And another reason to share this business is to promote yourself up the career path. The higher you climb, the greater your circle of influence.
How about to encourage women with their personal growth and self-esteem? Who wants this one? It's yours. Come grab it. It's yours. Claim it.
To fulfill your mission, your why. Do you all know what your why is in the business? Got to know that.
How about to eliminate the glass ceiling on income potential? Just raise the roof right off of your income thinking.
How about to offer an alternative to corporate America?
How about to share the Mary Kay philosophy of faith, family, career? Who is this person?
How about to help them, all of those women out there that need what we have to offer, prioritize their lives by adding balance to an already crazy schedule?
Okay, this one's up for grabs. to set them free to be all that God created them to be.
Very good. How about to give them freedom to make choices that won't conflict with their value system?
How about prizes and cars and trips? Who's into those things?
How about for the incredible feel-good, which will come only from giving this incredible gift to someone else?
How about to give them the gift of living the golden rule out in your life instead of just talking about it?
To feel like a winner, and everyone wants to be with a winner. Wants to feel like a winner?
You know, I believe in this life we are either serving a purpose or we're serving time.
How about team building has tremendous rewards. We build relationships as we build our business.
Relationships, girlfriend?
I'm not there yet.
Relationships?
But there's one more. Say yes to this career for a lifetime. Relationships will outlast things. Don't you agree? Now I'll give you that.
I've been waiting for my high five. Well, let me just share this with you. There's lots of other reasons why you want to share this Mary Kay opportunity. And there's just so many. We could just go on. It really could spend 2.5 hours talking about the reasons why we've done Mary Kay. But let me just say that building your team begins with a mindset. It's a total mindset. You know, when you get ready to help your child with homework, don't you have to get in the homework mindset? You know, if you're going to try to convince your husband that you need that dress that's on sale, don't you have to get into a mindset? Kind of do a little dancing around. Everything that we do in life requires a mindset. And you know what? Sharing this business with other people is no different. You have to get your mind set in that direction. You have to absolutely focus and change some things and say, I'm not going to allow the circumstances that are happening around me to stop me in my tracks. I'm going to have the mindset that I'm going to go forward, under, over, around, or through, and I'm going to build this team. And I'm going to build my self-confidence while I build this team. And I'm going to do it through holding classes. And that's what we're going to talk about, is building your team and the mindset and what it takes. And so I'd like to introduce to you, to kick off the first segment, Debbie Moore.
Thank you, doll. Well, we are really going to give you the ABCs, the building blocks of how to build your team today. And it's going to really encompass the mechanical ends of building the business, from the psychological ends to the activity ends, to really just all-encompassing every direction. But it really does all set with that very special word, and I hope you write that down. It's a mindset. You know, like every area of the business, you have to get into a recruiting mindset, to a team building, sharing your business mindset before anything else will happen. You must see yourself as a team builder before you'll ever become one. You know, it's not, I have to believe it before I see it. I have to see it before I believe it. So see yourself as a team builder before you'll become one. And you've got to get prepared, and you've got to plan for recruiting. It doesn't just happen. Every aspect of the business, like booking, before you'll start booking, you've got to plan for it. You have to become a booking maniac. Well, the same thing holds true with team building. You have to get in the mindset of wanting to start building your team. But once that mindset is truly in place, and you're really ready to go, there are really 4 necessary steps to get the ball going. And that's what I want to share with you right now. The 4 steps necessary to kind of get your team building in gear. Number 1, very important. You've got to have the image. You've got to project the image of a professional. You've got to feel good. See, I don't think image is just on the outside. It starts on the inside and it permeates to the outside. You've got to feel good about yourself. You've got to love you before anybody else will. You've got to be able to bounce out of bed in the morning and with a few little fluffs and whatever, look in the mirror and say, I love you, before anybody else will be attracted to you. So work on the inside. We've got to dress the part. We've got to look like a professional Mary Kay beauty consultant. That very calling card, your outside image, is the very thing that will draw people to you. You know, we've got to ask ourselves, if they look a whole lot better than us, what can we offer to them? And you know, I hate to say this, but it's true. Unfortunately, we as human beings judge the book by its cover. before we ever get into the meat, before we ever get into the information. And so if our cover isn't exciting, they may never open your book of life to find out about you. So really prepare yourself for success in team building by looking the part. Get up every morning and ask yourself this question after you're dressed, after you're coiffed. If I would run into Mary Kay Ash today, wouldn't that be a blessing, number one? If you ran into Mary Kay today. But if I would run into Mary Kay Ash today, could I proudly walk up to her right now and say, "Hi, Mary Kay. I'm Debi Moore. I'm a professional beauty consultant with Mary Kay Cosmetics." That is such a good lesson and rule to start every day off with. Because if the answer is no, if you couldn't walk up and extend your arm and your hand or embrace her, maybe because of the way you look, then don't go out and greet the rest of the world. Because you are the only Mary Kay that some people will ever know. And as time ticks by, I promise you, we will become the only Mary Kay they'll ever know. And don't we want it to be the best possible image that it can be? So take the time in the morning, and I really do hope that you get up and you get dressed for yourself first and the rest of the world second. Because don't you agree that you feel better about yourself when you know you look good? Do you know what happens when you start taking that into account? You get out of you and into people. When you get out of you, then this business will start to explode and you get into other people. So simple exercise. Get up every day and get prepared for success by your image. Number 2, your attitude. It goes without saying, this is a word that permeates through every single area of this business, but without a positive attitude toward a mindset of team building, it won't happen. We've got to be ready to accept the fact that it's going to take numbers to build our team. Not everybody we talk to is going to say yes. Our belief has to be as strong on the heels of a no as it is on the celebration of a yes. And don't you agree, those of you that have been in any length of time, that that's probably the most difficult part of this business, is to celebrate the no's as if they're a yes? See, I really believe that a no is a release to go on to the next yes. Celebrate the no's. Be excited when someone has told you no, that this isn't for them right now, because that's freed your mind and your soul and your body up to go out and find the person that's going to say yes to you, instead of hanging on in great hopes that maybe she'll change her mind. Have you found that sometimes they don't? And 3 months later, we're still working with the same person that we really believe is going to be great in Mary Kay, and she's still not in the business today? But yet in those 3 months, we might have missed the next national sales director. So we need to be celebrating the no's along with the yeses and realize that it is a numbers game. The winner in Mary Kay is truly the one who's positive in the valleys as well as the peaks. In 23 years, I've seen a lot of people be incredibly excited when everything's going well, but the mark of a winner is one who can be as positive, as committed to their business in the down times as they are when all is going well. And what can you do to help that attitude? I hope you become tape addicts. I hope you live your life by listening to a tape every day. Rarely there's a day in my life, even today, rarely that I don't listen to a tape. We all have time to listen, whether it's in the morning when we're getting dressed, whether it's making breakfast for your children before they go off or after they've left, whether it's right before that quiet time that you spend with the Lord, whether it's maybe in the car. I mean, we all have ample time to listen to a tape. And I encourage you, especially if you're new, although even us old people at Mary Kay, listen to the most important tapes that you can to build your business. Listen to Mary Kay tapes. Listen to people that have walked the walk that you want to go. Follow the lead by listening to what they did. Don't you agree that the greatest source we have in this business of strength is each other and each other's experiences, especially those that are successful? So really plug into ordering a tape. Every time you place an order to the company, order yourself a tape that's going to build your business, and get in the habit of listening to it every single day. Another great way, obviously, is through the source of reading positive materials. So I hope you listen to a tape. I hope you feed your mind with positive books. And most importantly, I hope you surround your life with positive people. And when in doubt, run to a Mary Kay consultant. And if she's not, run to the next one. Don't stay there. Run to the next one. More importantly, run to your director when you need help. She's your greatest source of inspiration and support that you have going for you. So number 2 is your image. It needs to be 100% positive. And number 3, feel good. about your business. The third step to really get your team building ball rolling is you've got to feel good about your business. You've got to be proud of what you're doing. Even if you're brand new, be excited to tell the world that you're a Mary Kay Beauty consultant and all that this career can offer to you and to other people. This feel good is going to come through your activity. I have never seen a negative active consultant, but I've seen a lot of people that have fallen into a slump when their activity has fallen into a slump. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that you're not smiling quite as often when you open your date book and it looks like snow blindness has attacked it? There's nothing to go to tomorrow or the next day. But the happy Mary Kay consultant, the one that's feeling great about her business, is the one that's going, how am I ever going to get done everything I have to do this week? I have 5 classes on my date book. I have 2 interviews. I have a meeting to attend. I will never get all this done, as she's smiling through the thought of the success that's going to come from the activity. So the key to this is feel good about your business by being active in your business. I promise you, they go hand in hand. The greatest cure for a doldrum in your business is to book a class, to book an interview, to get in front of somebody, to help change someone's life, to empower someone through your product, which we do, or through the opportunity. So feeling good is nothing more than being happy about your particular business. And it's one thing to vicariously live through a sister consultant's success, and it's another thing to live through your own. So if you're so new and you haven't experienced some of those successes, that's okay to lean on the belief and the experience of your recruiter or friends, but get out into the ball field and start having your own. Nothing feels better and tastes better than that. And number 4, the 4th key to get the ball rolling is you must have a recruiting goal. You must have a recruiting goal. Without it, you'll never really take the avenue of team building seriously. And it has to be clear, and it has to be posted, meaning you have to write it. And you need to be reading it every single day. I used to put my recruiting goal on my mirror every morning. On my mirror every morning. So when I got up to get ready for the day, to greet the day, it's the very first thing I read. The very first thing I read was where I was going this month as far as sharing the business with other people. And once I read that goal, I was energized for the day and ready to go out and tackle it and to really give people the greatest gift that had been given to me, and that's the Mary Kay opportunity. But once that goal has been determined and you really have you've become committed to it, not just the activity of the goal, but the results. I believe you have to see the goal accomplished before it ever will become accomplished. I have to see yourself receiving that beautiful diamond bee pin at seminar this year before it ever happens. Replay the spirit of the goal being achieved, and you'll be amazed how many goals you'll walk through with a sense of commitment and knowing that the job is going to get done. But it is that unwavering commitment to your goal that will allow you to get up, over, around any obstacle that gets in your way, and don't you know that you're going to have quite a few in the area of team building and really in building the business. You must not give yourself permission to let yourself off the hook. Don't ever give yourself permission. Don't ever rationalize why you're not doing what you truly want to do. Just go out and find out through your director and through the advice of someone that's in the position that you have what you need to change to get the ball going in the right direction again. See, once you give yourself permission to get off the hook once, it's easy to do it the second and the third time. And that's when goals start falling by the wayside and really achievements stop happening. I want you to pray as if everything depends on God and work as if everything depends on you in the area of team building, because really it's the activity that's going to get the job done. You know, after 23 years of being in this business, I've really observed some symptoms of why people do not recruit. And I'm going to share with you 4 very common symptoms right now. And this is for no other reason than for you to write them down and to avoid them. These are the roadblocks that you're now going to avoid so that you don't stumble through them. The first symptom of why a consultant does not recruit is that her business is in a slump. And I've already given you the key of how to get out of that. But the number one reason why someone doesn't share the business or go on and team build is because her own business is in a slump, and it's hard to tell someone else about how great something is if you're not doing it yourself. It's a little bit like telling someone about a great recipe and you've never made it. Or better yet, you've never tasted it. A little difficult. As a matter of fact, your credibility is a little waning, don't you agree? Your integrity is a little low. So when your business is in a slump, it's really hard to stand up and say, you're going to be great in this and you're going to make so much money and you're going to love it for these reasons, as you're sitting there going, I'm not. I need to do that. So number one is when you're in a slump or your business is in a slump. Number two, the second reason why people don't recruit, as crazy as this sounds, is that their recruiting antennas are not up. They think they are, but they're not. Do you know every single day, in every single way, you're walking by people whose lives need what we have to offer, but they're probably not going to stand in front of you and say, I'm the one. We need to be cognizant. We need to be aware. We need to have those little antennas up and ready to realize and reach out and touch someone's life through offering them the opportunity to at least listen to what we have to offer. See, I always visualize this opportunity as a beautifully wrapped gift that I'm placing in your lap. And it is totally your choice to unwrap it or not. But if I don't place it in your lap, you never have had the opportunity to unwrap it or not. So just keep placing the opportunity as a gift in people's lap. You'll be amazed at what happens. Number three, third reason why we don't recruit or build our team is that we simply don't ask enough. Goes back to what I said originally about numbers. This business is a numbers game. Even though that prospect looks like she will be perfect, even though all signs point toward she's going to be great, we don't live in her home. We don't walk in her shoes. So we can't really get hung up on her situation, but we can move on to the next whose life we can change. So remember that you need to be working with numbers to get the results to emerge. And number four, the fourth reason is that we're intimidated and that we're fearful. And that's a reality check time. You know, I'm sure many of you know that the word fear is nothing more than false evidence appearing real. And you need to remember that every time you start to get a tight throat or you start to go talk to someone and you hold back. Realize that it's your fear that's stepping in your way and how unfair that might be to let your fear stop that person from engaging in the most incredible opportunity of her life. So walk through the fear. Better yet, get out of you and into them. And that always helps me when I look at someone that I think, wow, I really need to talk to her and I might hold back a little. I find myself thinking, I need to get out of me and realize that I need to offer them and get into their situation and be able to extend to them with no fear on my part. And that really does help. But I'm going to share with you that the number one reason, again, that people don't recruit, their business might be in a slump, their antennas may not be up, they may not simply be asking enough, or they may be intimidated, but it really does all boil down to, if you take all of these and kind of put them in a neat little wrapper, the true strong reason is that they haven't clearly defined their goal every month. So what I want you to do right now is in your notebook, write down how many lives you would love to touch this month. How many people would you like to add to your team this month? Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 5? Is it a gold medal? Is it a silver or a bronze medal? But I think until you've clearly defined the number, we really don't have any starting point from which to springboard into the rest of this. So you all have your goal down? It might be the very first time you've ever written down a recruiting goal. And I really want you to internalize it. And I really want you to believe that there are 2 people or 4 people or 5 people or 1 person out there whose life truly will be better for you offering them the opportunity. And many of you may see her on the way home today. She may be the girl who's been checking you out at the grocery store for the last month. She may be the woman who hands you the dry cleaning. She may be that great customer who's stopping by to pick up a reorder today who has spent hundreds of dollars with you over the last 3 to 4 to 5 months. She may be disguised in any costume, but she's there, and she's probably in your path today. So make sure your antenna's up and remember that goal. She could be the very life that you are destined to touch now. Once you have that recruiting goal, you're ready. You're truly ready to get your team building in motion. People with goals in this company, and I really want you to hear this, people with goals in this company are the very ones you read about every single month in the applause. Those names just don't appear by some chance or some luck. Those are women that have clearly defined their direction for that particular month, and then they've gone after it with total commitment and perseverance to their business. It doesn't just happen. It's not by luck of the draw. Don't let the fear of setting the goal stand in the way of the results that can come into your life through setting it. You are better off to have set it and tried and failed than to have never set it. You're better off to have set it and failed than to have never set it at all. Well, along with the recruiting goal, I want to very briefly discuss and kind of investigate 3 very mechanical areas of recruiting. 3 things that must be tackled right away before your team building is going to happen. And number 1 is your date book needs to be filled. So before you really investigate anything else in the team building process, I encourage you to go home today and tomorrow, because it really only needs to take 24 hours, if not 48, and fill your date book.